Hey, here for liveweatherblogs.com, and here's your tropical update. Important update here. We have some potential action coming up the East Coast here. We're going to take a look at it. Here's the area disturbed weather. This is a portion of what is Tropical Depression 16. The center of the 16 is currently getting ready to cross over Cuba at this hour. Everything off to the southeast of the center there was quite a bit of shear earlier. The shear will maybe relax just a little bit, but not too much, and I'll show you why. As tropical storms tropical across Cuba and move up in this general direction. Out in Tropical Depression 16, there is a wave of low pressure that has developed along the front. This is going to send some more northwesterly winds down here and cause some a little bit more shear. But look at a whole big slug of moisture coming up through the coastal Carolina and Georgia, and that's moving inland at this time. And this is going to be well ahead. Rain will be falling well ahead of what will probably become Tropical Storm Nicole up here off the east coast of Florida. Probably do so in the Florida Straits, but I'm thinking maybe up this area here. Alright, let's change sources here. Let's go to hamweather.com. That was from NOAA, that satellite picture. Here's the water vapor map. You can clearly see what's going on here. Down here in the Caribbean is where you have Tropical Depression 16 moving away from the island use and is getting ready. Here it is here, right there. You can see here is Tropical Depression 16. Most of the moisture is off to the east side. And you can see this upper level is pulling this up here, and here's another upper level low diving down. This is what's going to capture what becomes Nicole. But already out ahead of it, here's your wave of low pressure developed along the Stoll boundary, which is sitting out here just offshore, just moved offshore. Draw this front back to the coast, which will set the railroad tracks, if you would, for tropical storm to come up the east coast. Now there's something here that you can't really see. We have one cold front here. This is a purely tropical air on the right side, on the east side. And there's another cold front coming out here right behind this upper level low. There's a front sitting here with a lot more cooler air behind it. Two of these are kind of going to have to gel together, and when that does in fact happen, this wave of low pressure comes up. It's just up for an interesting situation. I'm going to have to look at the 18ZGF NAM rather to see where I'm kind of concerned. If you go out here to hour 60, all right, and let's get to hour 60 here. There's some concern I have at hour 60. Let it load here. Just a second there. Jumping around me again. At hour 60, you see this real bright red line of very heavy rain, thunderstorms. The wind won't be too much of an issue until Nicole passes by. This, my friends, right here is actually slicing right through here. It's going to be a cold front. And what's going to happen is all this tropical moisture is going to be feeding into the cold front here. And there'll be a lot of lift. Alright, and this is where you're going to, wherever this corridor sets up, this is where your flooding threat is going to be highest. And this is probably where you may see locally up to 6-7 inches of rain for this at this time. If in fact it does take this track. This track is the track I like. I do like this track a lot. I think the GFS is a little bit too far to the west. I think eventually with this progressive flow coming down here from the Midwest, I think this gets knocked off to the east a little bit. And the track that I really like is going to be this one here. This is from weatherunderground.com. The red line's the GFS track. I really like the Hurricane War track. This purple line where we take landfall near Cape Fear, North Carolina, across eastern North Carolina, and then we bend out toward the Jersey Shore here. Maybe just slightly west of that track, but that's becoming a powerhouse tropical storm by any nature. I think winds, the highest we see with Nicole is maybe 60 miles per hour. That may be a worst case scenario. There's not going to be a lot of time for it to develop. It's going to be moving quite fast. There'll be a lot of shear going on, so I don't see intensity being, in terms of wind, any damage or anything like that. I do see that the threat there is definitely there for very copious amounts of heavy rain from from Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, right up through eastern Pennsylvania. This could be quite a stoker. And if you want a drought-busting range, this is going to be it. This is going to be a lot different situation than the .30 we got here in media, which was quite depressing. The ground here in Delaware County, by the way, is very hard as a rock. So areas where you did get the heavy rain, it is soft, it's saturated. And the areas where you didn't get the heavy rain, it's dry as a bone, so it's going to hit the ground and start running either way. Flooding is going to be an issue. Look for flash flood watches issued very shortly, if not by 11 o'clock tonight. This looks like it's going to happen. First, we have the wave of low pressure on the stalled tropical boundary, and then upper level low comes down, picks up what's Nicole. Secondary front gels with the tropical front, and we really get doused. This is wild weather for liveweatherblogs.com. You all have a great night, and if you're in flood-prone areas, get ready. Take care.